Right now, inside the walls all around you, something invisible is moving at nearly the speed of light. It powers every light, every screen, every outlet, silently, constantly, without you ever thinking about it. But this same invisible force can stop your heart in under a second, or burn your entire house to the ground from a single loose connection. We live surrounded by it, we depend on it completely, and almost none of us actually understand it. So today, that changes. By the end of this video, you'll understand the electricity running through your home better than most people who've lived in one their whole lives. And I'll show you 3 things almost nobody knows. 1. A small device in your home that can save your life in a fraction of a second, faster than you could ever react. 2. A wire that normally carries no electricity at all, yet it might be the single most important wire in your entire house. And 3. Why some outlets in your home are secretly twice as powerful as the others. Keep all 3 in mind, because we're coming back to each one. Let's follow a single electron, from a distant power plant, all the way into the device you're watching this on right now. Our electron's journey starts far from your house, at a power plant. It might be burning natural gas or coal, splitting atoms in a nuclear reactor, or spinning turbines with wind, water, or the sun. But almost all of them do the same basic thing. They spin a giant magnet inside coils of wire to generate electricity. That electricity leaves the plant at an enormous voltage, hundreds of thousands of volts. And there's a reason it's pushed so high. High voltage lets power travel long distances with far less energy lost as heat. Those are the massive steel towers and long-distance lines you see crossing the countryside, the transmission grid. But that voltage is way too high and far too dangerous to enter your home directly. So along the way it passes through substations and transformers that step the voltage down, again and again. By the time it reaches your street, it flows through the local power lines on the wooden poles in your neighborhood, or buried underground. And right before it reaches you, it hits one last device that makes it safe to use. That device is about to hand our electron directly to your house. That last device is the transformer, often a gray cylinder on a nearby pole or a green metal box on the ground. It takes the medium voltage from your street and steps it down to the level your home actually uses. In North America, that's 240 volts, split into 2 120-volt legs. From the transformer, wires run to your house. This is your service drop if it's overhead, or your service lateral if it's buried. They connect at the service entrance. The first thing our electron passes is the electric meter, the utilities device that measures every kilowatt-hour you use. That's what your bill is based on. Right after the meter, the power enters the most important box in your entire home, the main electrical panel, also called the breaker box. This gray metal box, usually in your garage, basement, or a closet, is the heart of your home's electrical system. Every single circuit in your house begins here. And here's your first mission. Pause this video, go find your panel, and open the door. Look inside, you'll see rows of switches. In a few minutes, you'll understand exactly what every one of them does. But right at the top sits one switch that's bigger than the rest, and it holds a surprising amount of power over your entire home. Let's open that panel and decode it. At the very top is the main breaker, one large switch that controls all the power to your entire house at once. Flip it off, and everything goes dark. This is the switch you kill first in an emergency, or before doing any electrical work. Behind the breakers are 2 metal bars called bus bars, energized by those 2 120-volt legs from the transformer. Snapped onto these bars is a row of smaller switches, the circuit breakers. Each breaker feeds one circuit, a specific group of outlets and lights in your home. One might power your kitchen counter, another your bedroom, another the whole downstairs lighting. But a breaker isn't just an on-off switch, it's a silent guardian. Its real job is to constantly watch how much current flows through its circuit. Electricity flowing through a wire creates heat. Push too much current through a wire, and it overheats. And an overheated wire inside your wall is exactly how electrical fires start. So the moment a circuit draws more current than its wire can safely handle, the breaker instantly trips, snapping off and cutting the power before that wire can catch fire. That's why a breaker trips when you overload an outlet. It's not malfunctioning. It just saved you. So our electron passes through its breaker and heads out into the house on a branch circuit. But to actually do anything useful, it needs more than one wire. It needs a complete loop. Here's something most people never realize. Electricity only works if it can travel in a complete circle. It has to flow out, do its work, and return. If the loop is broken, nothing happens. In your home, that loop is built from 3 wires, and understanding them is the key to understanding everything. The first is the hot wire, usually black or red. This is the wire that carries the incoming power, the electron under pressure, ready to work. The second is the neutral wire, usually white. After the electricity flows through your device, say, a light bulb, the neutral wire carries it back to the panel, completing the loop. Hot brings the energy in, neutral takes it back out. Together they form the working circle that powers everything you own. But there's a third wire, usually green, or sometimes bare copper. This is the ground wire. And here's the strange part. Under normal conditions, it carries no electricity at all. It just sits there doing nothing day after day. So why is it in every outlet, every appliance, every circuit in your home? Because on the one day something goes horribly wrong, this silent, empty wire is the thing standing between you and a lethal shock. That's the second thing I promised you at the start, and we'll come back to exactly how it saves your life. For now, just remember, hot, neutral, and the mysterious ground. From the panel, power doesn't travel through your house on one giant wire. Instead, it splits into many separate branch circuits, each one a dedicated loop serving part of your home. There's a good reason for this. If your entire house ran on a single circuit, one overloaded hairdryer could shut down everything at once, and a single wire would have to be impossibly thick to carry all that power safely. So instead, your electrician divides the load. Bedrooms and living room outlets are often grouped together, since they rarely draw much power at once. But the hungry rooms get their own dedicated circuits. Your kitchen, with its microwave, toaster, and coffee maker, might have several. High-demand appliances, the electric oven, the dryer, the air conditioner, each get a circuit entirely to themselves. And the thickness of the wire is carefully matched to the breaker protecting it. A small 15-amp breaker guards thinner wire for lights. A heavier 20-amp breaker protects thicker wire for outlets. And big appliances use even thicker wire still. This matching is absolutely critical, and getting it wrong is genuinely dangerous. Put a bigger breaker on a thin wire, and the wire can overheat and catch fire before the breaker ever notices. That single mistake is behind countless house fires. So every circuit leaves the panel perfectly matched, and heads to the places you actually plug in. Which brings us to the outlets and switches you touch every single day, and what's really happening inside them. Let's look at the outlet in your wall. Those 2 vertical slots aren't identical. The slightly taller slot is neutral, the shorter one is hot, and the round hole below is ground. When you plug something in, you complete the loop, hot flows in, the device runs, neutral flows back. That's it. Now the light switch, which is cleverer than it looks. A switch does just one thing. It breaks or completes the hot wire. Flip it off, and you've created a gap in the loop. The circle is broken, so no current can flow, and the light goes dark. Flip it on, and you close the gap, the loop completes, and the light instantly glows. The switch isn't adding electricity, it's just opening and closing the circle. That's why a light responds the very instant you flip it. And here's a detail that trips people up. A switch should always interrupt the hot wire, never the neutral. If someone wires it wrong and switches the neutral instead, the light still turns off, but the fixture stays energized with live hot power the whole time. Change that bulb, touch the wrong part, and you can be shocked by a light that's off. Little details like this are exactly why electrical work has such strict rules. So now you know how power gets in, spreads out, and does its work. But we still haven't answered the scariest question. What happens when something goes wrong? That's where our 3 heroes come in. Remember the first thing I promised? A device that can save your life in a fraction of a second? Meet it now. You've seen the breaker in your panel guard against overloaded wires and fires. But there are 2 special protectors that go even further. The first is the GFCI, the outlet with the little test and reset buttons, found in bathrooms, kitchens, and outdoors. Its job is to compare the current going out on hot with the current coming back on neutral. Normally they're perfectly equal. But if electricity finds another path, say, through your body into water and down the drain, even a tiny difference appears. The GFCI detects that leak in as little as 1/25th of a second and cuts the power before it can stop your heart. That's why they're required anywhere water and electricity meet. The second protector is the AFCI, usually built into breakers in your panel. It listens for the tiny, erratic sparks of an arc fault, the kind that happens at a loose connection or a damaged wire hidden in your wall. Those sparks are a leading cause of house fires, and the AFCI shuts the circuit down before they can ignite. So between the breaker, the GFCI, and the AFCI, your home has 3 layers of automatic protection, all working silently, all faster than you could ever react. But every one of them depends on something we've barely explained, that third wire that carries no electricity. It's time to finally reveal why the ground wire matters. Now, the ground wire, the second thing I promised. Picture a metal appliance, like your washing machine. Inside, a hot wire comes loose and touches the metal case. Suddenly, the entire outside of that machine is electrified, silent, invisible, waiting. The next person to touch it becomes the path for electricity to reach the ground, straight through their body. That is exactly how people are electrocuted in their own homes. This is what the ground wire prevents. It's a dedicated path of least resistance, connecting the metal parts of your appliances directly back to the earth. So when that hot wire touches the case, the electricity doesn't wait for a human. It rushes through the ground wire instead. And because that path is so easy, a huge surge of current floods through it in an instant. That surge immediately trips the breaker, cutting the power. The danger is neutralized before you ever touch the machine. That's the beauty of it. The ground wire does absolutely nothing every single day for years, right up until the one moment it silently saves your life. This whole system is literally tied to the ground outside your home, through a metal rod driven deep into the earth near your panel. The earth itself is your electrical safety net. So we've followed our electron in, through every protection. Now, why are some of your outlets secretly twice as powerful as the rest? Here's the third secret. Remember those 2 120-volt legs coming from the transformer? Most of your home runs on just one of them at a time. 120 volts powers your lights, your phone charger, your TV, standard outlets. That's plenty for everyday devices. But some appliances are far too hungry for that. Your electric oven, clothes dryer, water heater, and air conditioner need much more power. So for those, electricians use both 120-volt legs at once, combining them into a single 240-volt circuit. Twice the voltage means those appliances can deliver serious heat and power without needing dangerously huge amounts of current. That's why the outlet behind your dryer looks completely different from a normal one. It's a 240-volt outlet, with a different shape so you can't accidentally plug the wrong thing in. So the next time you see that big, odd-looking outlet, you'll know exactly why it's there. It's quietly delivering double the power for the hungriest machines in your home. And now our electron has done its work everywhere, from a tiny phone charger to a massive electric oven. But there's one last question we've skipped entirely. How does all of this get built into a house in the first place, safely hidden inside the walls? Electrical work is built in 2 stages, and the order matters enormously. Stage 1 is the rough-in, done before the walls are closed up, while the house is still an open skeleton of studs. The electrician runs all the hidden wiring, cables snaking from the panel through the framing, and the boxes for every outlet, switch, and light fixture mounted in place. Everything that will soon disappear behind drywall. And this is why the order is so critical. Once the walls are sealed, finding and fixing a wiring mistake becomes painfully difficult and dangerously expensive. So before a single wall is closed, it all has to pass inspection. An inspector checks that every wire is the right size, every connection is secure, every box is correct, and the whole system is safe. Only when it passes do the walls go up. Then, after drywall and paint, the electrician returns for the finish stage, installing the actual outlets, the switches, the light fixtures, and connecting everything back at the panel. Finally, the power is switched on and the whole system is tested. And when it all passes, you get something you'll now never take for granted again. A home wired to protect you, silently, every second of every day. So let's trace our electron one last time. It was born spinning a magnet in a distant power plant, raced across the transmission grid at enormous voltage, was tamed by transformers down to a safe level, past your meter and into your main panel, guarded by the main breaker you now know how to find. It split into branch circuits, each protected by a breaker matched to its wire, flowed out on the hot wire, did its work, and returned on the neutral, completing the loop. And every step of the way it was watched over by 3 silent guardians, the breakers and GFCIs that react faster than you can blink, and the ground wire that does nothing for years until the day it saves your life. Those are the 3 things almost nobody knows. The devices that protect you in a fraction of a second, the empty wire that's secretly the most important in your house, and the hidden 240-volt circuits powering your hungriest machines. You now understand the invisible system running behind your walls every second of every day. If this made you look at your home a little differently, subscribe, because next time, we're opening up the walls again to see how your home's heating and cooling really works. And before you go, tell me in the comments, which of those 3 surprised you most? I'll see you there.